community is the new revolution in Africa as we speak. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to the Togolese journalists and analysts, there are even new claims that Damiba had a golden plan, and that plan will catch you big. The plan was to cede some of the Burkinabe territories to Ivory Coast if the coup d'etat was successful. Apart from the fact that, welcome brother, salute. Apart from the fact that Lieutenant Harry, whatever they call him, Damiba, apart from the fact that he already had his own cabal that was going to be in key positions in Burkina Faso, heading key institutions, right? Probably the institutions they were going to leave, right? Which were going to be some of the worst institutions. There was a plan for, a very, very serious privatization of some of the national organizations that have been created. Currently, when Burkina Faso makes something, what they tell you is that now that they are nationalizing this project, okay? You hear them talk about, oh, this thing belongs to Burkina Faso. Everything in Burkina Faso right now, you have the fewest belonging to some set of individual. Majority belong to the nation. And this is how you grow a nation. This is how you grow the economy of a nation from the trenches. This is how you take it to superstardom. The plan was that when Damiba comes into power, most of these institutions were going to be privatized. Return Burkina Faso back to capitalism and destroy the country. Now, we will get to the destruction agenda, okay? So, now, you see, yesterday we were talking about selling equipment, right? Which on its own is an abuse. So, whoever thinks that you kind of want to make an argument for the case of Damiba as a Burkinabe, you are really, really deceiving yourself, because Damiba, he poured spit on the entire Burkinabe military, to have made that terrible statement that the Burkinabe military does not have the capacity to handle those capabilities of enormous lethality, that they don't have it. It means that Damiba is saying that the Burkinabe army was very, very useless. But the world said no. So that is the first thing, to sell those equipment to Ivory Coast. Okay? Now the second agenda, thank you so much, my family. The second, oh, thank you so much. Welcome to the building. The second agenda, right, was to cede territory to Ivory Coast. Remember, there was a state that wasn't mentioned that was planning to supply Damiba, where he said he has secured the Super Tucano. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all the statistics and facts we have on ground, because contextualized number don't lie, can we say that the nation that was planning to supply the air capability was Ivory Coast? Now, I believe that air capability would have been a sacrificial offering, because it would have been knocked down. But to avoid that knockdown, they already had another contingency plan to launch an internal decapitation assault on those capabilities and the personnel, so that any sort of resistance from within would be submerged. But ladies and gentlemen, God, the human beings, the holy ones, the honorable men, the dogs, the rats, the cats in Burkina Faso said, no, not today. Remember, Captain Ibrahim Traore made a statement. A lot of people didn't understand what that statement means. The black albino. So a lot of people thought the black albino was Emmanuel Macron. Families, you have to be a black, right, before you try to be a white. Hence, black albino. So the biggest black albino we have right now, there are several of them. The biggest one right now at the center of all attraction is Sandaogo Damiba. Now, based on the levels of treason, because look, if you want to calculate the levels or the layers, which are multi-layer in my own opinion, okay, of dangerous agenda coming from Damiba, I can equally say that if you trace the ancestry of Damiba properly, I don't think it was his great ancestors were not Burkinabes. I think they are more Ivorian. Because how do you go from selling equipment to a state, right? Being in bed with that state, bringing in a man that's eliminated Thomas Sankara, that they gave asylum in Ivory Coast. You brought him back to Burkina Faso, and now you want to cede some Burkinabe territories to Ivory Coast. Guess what? It won't just be a bare land that they will be ceding. Probably an enormous part of the territory. And it will not just be land, like I said. It would be the resource-rich environment. The world was watching. The spirits were watching. The ancestors were watching. Hence, Sandaogo and his generation failed. Because it is not just Damiba that have just failed. His generation failed. Hence, the people that shouted, look, the people that made the loudest noise instantaneously were the Ivorians. Okay? Now, listen. It doesn't mean that the Ivorians are bad. Remember, Lawrence Gbagbo was Pan-African, okay? He was anti-Western, okay? So, this only means that these are black albinos. You have them in every country. They are always trying to be Western, in the way they look. Alassani Ouattara, at his old age, still wears suit, always suited up. I want to be Western so bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, it begs the question, what was the biggest plan of Damiba? We could even find out even more during his interrogation. In my opinion, I think that interrogation should be no mas. Now, if we look further, according to the information that was given to us, they said the plan they had was that the citizens of Burkina Faso were going to resist the coup d'etat, that they were going to join hands in the brotherhood of combat. At a point, Niger airport is under attack. Niger airport, which of the Niger? If Niger airport is under attack, then you should rest. What type of attack? They activated the air defense. Don't worry. Everywhere is Delta Hotel, okay? Everywhere. See, look, those people have taken their defense capability to a level where when you hear that there is an attack, just go to bed. Just go to bed. Look. To whom much is given, much is expected. When God deposits some level of capability inside you, because there's human capability. You get what I mean? So when God deposits some level of capability inside you, God knows that you have what it takes to answer to some problem. Okay? And I'm telling you, if there is any smelling plan, these people have enough capability right now to launch a decapitation assault, a full-scale assault on anyone in this West Africa. I can guarantee you that. If there is anything that threatens these people, they have the capability to zero out anyone. I'm telling you, don't play with yourself. Don't you see, whoever Brand Philip is, I don't care about what his interests are. This is the time where you don't have to care about too much about what your enemy is doing. You have to care about your own capability. Now, this only guarantees you, I'm doing this live, and if there is even anything going on, I can guarantee you, it's either is a terrorist attack, right? And if it's a terrorist attack, they will apply correspondingly. Look, let's forget about capability. There is a part of this conversation I'm going to get to very soon. It comes with the ferocity that is born with people. you have this particular group in the Sahel states. I'm talking about the men that ties this thing on their head. I don't know. Some of them are Tuaregs. I don't know. They have majority of this caliber of men in the Sahel. These are the most, my fundamental aspect of Pan-Africanism is the struggle on the ground, on the line of contact. So I have seen so many skirmish, and I've seen the way these men behave on the line of contact. Is it a spite? Is it the ferocity? Is it the will to get eliminated? Because number one, when you get to the line of contact, your biggest aim should be to come back home safe. These are men that go to the line of contact knowing that any moment could be the final moment, and they seize those moments with grace. Men are built differently. But you see those ones in the Sahel, and I can guarantee you the only reason why West Africa is standing is because these men choose to fight. These women up north, they choose to fight. I'm telling you, if there is a reason why if they choose not to fight, a lot of people don't understand one thing. Let me let you understand that before we continue with our conversation. Let's say for any reason the Sahel choose not to fight because they have that fight in them. I'm telling you, if they don't have the fight, you know what's up. The Sahelian states have the fight in them naturally. You see it in the behavior of Assimi Goïta. You see it you see it in the character of Ibrahim Traore. You see it in the character of Abdurrahmani Chiani. You see more of that dog in Mali and Burkina Faso. Now I'm going to tell you, if they choose not to fight, you see those Western scholars, right? Those scholars that are within Ivory Coast, Benin, and whoever down south. Let me tell you something. Nigeria is as good as the North. Nigeria, in terms of security and defense, is as good as the North. That is why you see that majority of the fight in Nigeria is happening in the North. The southern part will be overrun at God's speed. Look, I don't know how it happened, but these guys up north, they have naturally that will, that savage to fight is in them. So like I said, if the Sahel make that decision that they don't want to fight, I'm telling you it's over. West Africa is over. And I will tell you why it's over. It's not because you are a puppet. It will be over because the Europeans have interest in your raw material. They have interest in those resources, regardless of your position. Regardless of how many times you are willing to prostrate without dignity and integrity. They need you. See, look, life, there is no friend in life. There is no friendship. There is no, we have good bilateral relation. There's nothing like that. There is only interest in the global, scape of geopolitics. There is interest. America has interest in Venezuela, no love lost. So the question is, do you have the capability, mental capability and, weapon capability to defend your sovereignty? Because your sovereignty is as good as your military strength. So therefore, it is not because they have a base in your country that will even be a recipe to overrun you at God's speed. They either bring in their aircraft carriers, and when they see that is not really the plan right now, right? The next thing they try to do is that they will want to come in with their terrorists. Look, don't fall for that statement of I will check the information on Niger, but I'm not worried. Like I said, if the worst happen, the Article 6 will be activated. Don't forget, the Alliance of Sahel, unified force, they are in Niamey. There is a reason why they are in Niamey. And remember, when ECOWAS tried to overrun Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali answered instantaneously. I don't know if a lot of people have been paying attention. I gave you guys a critical information. I said, we've seen the coup in Mali. We've seen the coup d'etat in Burkina Faso. I said the Nigerians should prepare themselves. Remember, I said before, I said after a serious attack, you see their delegation. I said there was an information that wasn't put in the public domain that the EU representatives were in Niger. I am not surprised that this attack is happening. But I can tell you, like I said again, we will wake up tomorrow and we will read the story that there was an exchange and the Nigerians came out on top. I'm telling you, no matter what happens tonight, they will come out on top. I am not speaking based on emotion. I am speaking based on the statistical, numbers. If you think that the way the Sahel is right now, and let me tell you this, if this attack is linked to any nation, then the Black Winter might truly be here. And I'm telling you, this is where the real coup d'etat will start. Because some people might think the West can protect them, but they don't know that even their citizens and their military are tired of them. So they only need a sustained pressure from outside to knock that regime off. Because the citizens will quickly gang up against them, give out their coordinates, and if you think, right, that the strategic partners of Russia, of the Alliance of Sahel States, will sit down and watch you, then you are a joker. No foreign states can come into Mali as we speak. They can only launch a terrorist attack. In Niger, no foreign states. Because let's see. We will read the extensive report. You will read the extensive report. So if you ever think there can be a destabilization attempt and all of that, but it has not gone beyond the capabilities of these people, like I said. So when you hear the word Black Albino, it has a meaning. Black Albino means the traitors among us. Based on my definition, I might be wrong. They are blacks, but they want to be white so bad. Thank you so much, brother. Salute. Thank you for the donation. They are black like us, but they are the traitors among us. So don't drop your guard in any moment thinking that these are my own people. Hence, the story of Damiba. Now, let me bring you back to the conversation of Damiba. It is said that Damiba believed that the people were going to be hand in hand with the forces that choose to resist them. And they were going to, open a confrontation against them. And the second backup plan was that they should eliminate the people like crazy until the terrorists come and they start eliminating to a whole new level. That, again, failed. Now, the question I continue to ask is, how long have this plan been in place? Sorry for digressing. If you think, again, like I said, that anybody can... See, I've been looking for an opportunity for the Sahel states to even test their capability. If you think one of these states will fall, then you need to think again. Because a fight to one is a fight to the three. And I'm telling you, these guys will confront you like it is existential. Some people call existential, but they don't know the meaning of that word. You will know, and you will find out that this is what they mean when they say it's existential. If any state is involved in this, don't be surprised. There might be a march into that state. Don't ever get... Look, when you bring in their partners militarily, how many of your puppet leaders, how many of the leaders of your puppet masters can stand? Is it France? No love laws. They will evaporate everywhere. See, look, if you want to put... The funny thing is the civilians that will suffer this. That is the funny thing, because the military, no. They can go all they care. And the way some places are built, that was why, for the sake of my people, I was very well against Nigeria launching any type of military operation against Burkina Faso, because if you launch some munition into, if you launch some capability into some environment, I'm telling you, it will be thousands instantaneously that will disappear, because houses are built together. Like you have almost no. Don't ask for it. If you've never seen war, don't ask for war before. Don't ask for it by chance or by any opportunity. Because when it starts, that is when they will now send in NGO. They will now be packing your resources like crazy. At the end of the day, you are the losers. So families, that was the second plan of Damiba. That if the people had resisted, they would have massacred the people until they accept their fate. They will turn the old national institution into private institution, right? Apart from turning it into private institutions, then they will now destroy so much capabilities that have been, brought in, and all for one purpose, so that never in these people's life will you ever stand up to the bosses of those puppets again. I don't know if you understand. The aim is to ensure that, look, when they take out the entire capable civilian leadership plus the administration on ground, you won't dare to stand up to France ever again. I don't understand why a lot of Africans have not come to terms that these people, they still have the same way of thinking about us. And there's no love lost. It's interest. If their interest is to be like that, your interest too has to be to apply correspondingly. We should apply equally. If you think I love anyone in that skin, then you are joking. I don't hate them, but I don't like them. It's not sentiment for me. Okay? I don't hate them, but I dislike them. Even though they are nice. Don't be nice to me. I don't need it. Look, I don't know why a lot of black people, you think you are morally upright. You think, the way people took away your ancestors. I don't know if a lot of people are thinking it. That's why Nigerian situation saddens me the most. You don't take away the ancestors like that, and you come and you smile in my face. I'm one of those rare breed that don't forget those moments. Even if I wasn't there, I was told the story. And people should listen and learn from stories. The only reason why you should listen and learn from stories is because some people live through that moment, so that you can learn from their story in one instance. But a lot of people don't learn. Those stories you are reading was the entire life of some people. They lived through that frustration from the day they were born to the day they died. And they wrote those stories for you to consume within probably 24 hours or 48 hours. That means some people went through that pain so that you can learn. They lock people in cages and all those things. And you want to come and tell us that, yes, we can't lock ourselves away, the Western people. Okay. Like, don't tell me that. Don't do it. And when you look at the attempt again at the lives of the most capable men that we have, because I won't lie to you, you might be intelligent, you might get your degree from wherever you get it. Leadership is born. True leaders are born. These are the men that make sure that all the rest of the men come back home alive. If you look at the way men like Assimi Goita and Captain Ibrahim Traore have behaved in the most dangerous moments, then you will know that these men are different. You remember when Captain Ibrahim Traore said during the Black Winter, we will eliminate ourselves like crazy. They might not look like it facially because they're too nice. But the strength of a man is defined by the level and the depth of his heart. These men, they have, look, these men are not ordinary men. I don't know if you understand. Like, I'm being honest with you. The level of sacrifice they are ready to give. You think Captain Ibrahim Traore is scared to sacrifice himself for his people? If it were to be a civilian that's, found out that the attempt of Damiba was at that level, you think he would not be working with Bulletproof right now? These men have seen danger. They've bled for their country. They've bled for their people. What level of sacrifice could you ask for? And some people will now jump in and try to tell you, let's know who the traitors are. The traitors are the minority. And the minorities are the ones that keep making poverty circulate around the majority. Until you know this, they will never be leaders. They don't have it in them. I don't think I have such level of capacity like men like Ibrahim Traore. I don't think I do. These are men that will sacrifice anything for everyone to be okay. This is how you know a leader. Look at Damiba. Look at the first plan from the go. I had to connive with the jihadists at once to neutralize 300 Burkinabes. Do you know how? Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much for the donation. Do you know how bad you have to be to look at your people? It is the highest level of treason that anybody can commit. To look at 300, to neutralize 300 people, right? I don't know. But to now neutralize, to agree for some people to neutralize 300 of your people, man, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know, families. I don't know. So when you hear the word black albino, men like Damiba, equation 1 complete. Damiba is in the back. Who is next? So if we capture the black albino, because we've captured the black albino, it will infuriate the accomplices of the black albino. Hence, we might have a black winter. We might. So, like I said earlier, I said you did not hear from the children of the puppets, ECOWAS and African Union. They did not condemn this attempt. The attempt on its own is condemnable. The plan alone deserves the highest level of condemnation. Damiba is not a Burkinabe, and I repeat, and I will say it any day and at any time. Damiba is an Ivorian. Because if I can look, Nigeria, right? We have a leadership issue. We have whatsoever anybody wants to call it. But for me to agree, I will never agree to concede the territory of my nation, of my continent, any part of it to anybody. Yeah, we might not be, we don't have to be in good terms. We don't have to be. But this is where my ancestors are from. And on the broader scale, look, I don't even know why the Ivorian leadership accepted this. It defines who they are too. And all this problem is being created by one nation, France. If you are not still able to see the divide and rule, then there is a bigger problem. Now, the sentiment I have is against the Ivorian leadership, not the Ivorian people. We play football together during the Nations Cup. And in the spirit of competition, we always end up embracing ourselves. So we must watch out for the minority. that have been selected carefully to make us hate ourselves. The same people that took away the ancestors for every reason they have in mind. Now they want to make the children of those ancestors hate themselves. So I'm speaking to the mind of the Beninese in the building that are not, or the Ivorians that are not talking because their leadership have brought so much shame upon them. But no, you are not the target. You are not the legitimate target of this. The selected few that were not selected by their people, that are acting on behalf of the criminals, are those we are talking to. They have no honor, they have no shame, they have nothing else that they can offer. Somebody was telling a Beninese journalist, they call him Pastor Makaso or Makoso, something like that. First of all, I've never seen a Nigerian that look like that. Yeah. I have never seen a Ghanaian that look like that. I have not come across a Burkinabe, maybe on camera or anything that looks like that. I don't know where that guy called Makoso is from. But if you look at him physically, you know something is definitely wrong. Very, very much wrong. This guy hates the AES. And, you know, that type of hatred is look, thank you very much. He's an Ivorian. You can always, look, the proof is in the pudding. Makoso, like is the hog, like, bro, no, I don't, for the sake of the community guideline, I'm not going to say some things. But when I looked at this guy, I was like, to be honest, to be honest, like, I was proud of my people when I looked at him. Like, man, where are they producing this type of elements? So look at no. To be honest, jokes apart, look at the products that are coming from that. You know, I'm talking about the selected products that are coming from that end. Now you have a man whose eyes is like this. Now you have another one that looks like somebody that is running marathon in winter. That's what that Makoso looks like. No flesh, no bone, nothing. And if you look at the claim, you will know that they have a deep-rooted hate against the alliance of Sahara State. They were telling the Beninese to prepare for war with the AES. that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. That the Beninese should prepare for a full-scale offensive against the AES. Families, that is never ever going to be a thing that we pray for. So don't let that human being right there. According to him, he said he has lost his wife, so he's ready to go and join her. No, we posted it on our Telegram channel. Everyone on our Telegram channel, they've seen the video. He said he's ready to go. So he's trying to gather a lot of Beninese along with himself to join whatever, you know. Yes. France carried out a nuclear test. They wanted to see the capability of the nuclear, capability that they've built. And they placed black soldiers around the blast radius to see what will happen. And you will now sit down because you read a story that was written by some fake individuals with a pen. So you believe that, oh, these people have just changed overnight. Have you heard about gene pool? That there is no gene that is lost except in some very, very difficult situation. Like the 1% of the 1% of situations. Gene pool, the total number of gene in a single ancestry, is passed from generation to generation. So you think the gene of Hitler is lost in Germany, right? You think that the gene of Hitler is lost. No, the gene of Hitler is still alive. The gene of Napoleon is alive. The gene of those people that carried out this terrible slave trade is still alive in their progenies. They carry that gene. So it defines what you continue to see. It's them, it's in them. Don't get it twisted. Don't let anybody come and tell you I like what you are doing, and you think I'm going to like fall for those. Like I'm beyond all that. Like I'm beyond that. You can't change all those things. I don't, like I said, I don't hate you. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. I don't hate you, but I don't like you. And that is just it. I was working in the hospital one time like that, and everybody were lining up, and a white man came. I'm being honest about this, and he jumped the queue. Very unusual, right? He stood, he picked himself aside. You are racist before me. It was the biggest regret of all time. Even the patients were laughing. I was there. I already, with my peripheral vision, I already selected him. So he started talking. He had a representative, a black puppet beside him that was like, yeah, we want to do something. I said, go to the back of those people. I said, as far as this institution is concerned, I would rather resign than not attend to this long queue before you. Go to the back. And you must be in the same line with them. Whatever makes you think you are special, it's not going to happen here. You are not going to act like you are special. Here, it's not happening. Go to their back and you move forward in the same way. I thought they taught them morals. You cannot come here with that. You can't do it. And I was ready to resign. Should in case there was a bigger puppet in the building that was probably higher than me in the cadre, right? I was ready to resign that day. I was ready to stand my ground. And I'm not standing my ground because I want to prove a point. I'm standing my ground because this is what should be. I am one of those few, like I said, pray very well that somebody like Andre don't come into any position. You are going to feel it. So for the news that Brand Philip is giving you, right, that there was an attack, there will definitely be, because they can't come in full scale, so they will be planning terrorist attack. They will be doing a lot of things. Ask the Russians. Do you know how many generals have been eliminated in Russia? This is what they know how to do, planning terrorist attacks. You get what I'm saying? Planning terrorist attack. That is why I love, Cosmonaut, the Cosmonaut deal that the Alliance of Sahel States have already agreed with the Russians, right? To have their own different satellite communication. You cannot continue to use the Western GPS or whatever Western connection and you think you are safe. No, you are not. Those people can spy on you even without you knowing. We are aware of this. We are aware of all this. But as Africans, we need, I said, when I see children, right? A lot of people have given birth to children they cannot take care of. But when I see these children, I'm always happy. A lot of people are sad when they see population. I'm happy when I see population because when I look at the heads of those children, I see capabilities. Do you get what I'm saying? When I look at these kids, I see capabilities, different capabilities that can apply in different places, right? We have been deceived to think that when a man or woman or child or whatever cannot succeed in class, in the theoretical class of study, that they are like byproducts. No. If you are not good in class, you can be good elsewhere. You can be the greatest elsewhere. Everybody has a place in the larger framework of things where their supreme capabilities will be unleashed. So I am not, because I know what I passed through when I was coming up as a child, discriminations and all of that. So whatever type of situation anybody is in, I can relate critically. So when I see people that are struggling, I can relate. Because I've walked around and, I've had to beg for work. I'm not talking about office job. I've had to ask people, do you have a work I can do to survive? Do you have a work I can do to survive? Do you have a work I can do to survive? Else, when I see people and they see a part of me that, they know I'm no nonsense. So because I'm no nonsense, they think I'm going to behave in a certain way. But when they see the humanity in me, they'll be like, why is it like that? He's not always smiling like that. He's not always doing this. I've been through this. I've been through so many reality. So that's why it hurts me when I see some certain individuals that are worshiping this selected few that are putting people in that position. Do you think that Damiba's intention was ever going to be good? It will never be good. Now, I'm telling you, they might try their best, but you see, their best will always fail. And like I have said, they've tried in Mali, they failed, right? They will re-strategize. The imperialist is the worst student of all time. Comes back the same way. If they are going to come back differently, it's going to still be in affiliation or in very close relationship with how they came before. They cannot, look, they are not really intelligent like that. It didn't take me so much to realize that these people are not really intelligent like that. Let me ask you a question. What are the recent modern warfare capabilities that have been developed in Europe? I'm talking about groundbreaking. None that you can find. It's only a fine-tuning of the existing capabilities and all of that. They are not really legit like that. But you have a lot of capabilities in Africa. But you have some selected few that want to bastardize those capabilities. We are not going to let that happen. We're going to continue building. So if anybody think that there's a certain few that will be allowed to sell out everybody, oh man, they have to think again. So when you look at everything that Damiba was trying to do, you definitely know this is beyond treason, like I said. This is a terrorist. Thank you very much. That was the language I was looking for yesterday. It has to be your citizen that will be able to carry out a treason. First of all, right? A treasonous individual would be your citizen. Damiba is not even a citizen. Damiba is a terrorist. You are a military man. Let me explain to you. A lot of people don't understand where treason starts in the military. Because you swore an oath, a sacred oath to protect the people. The moment you are faced by any type of enemy capability, you drop your weapon and you run. That's treason. Because once they go through you, everybody is gone. This is the spirit that, makes this military men, that disconnects them from the reality of the threat that, anything could happen in this moment, because they're doing it for the greater purpose. So the moment as a military personnel, there is a threat coming and you don't defend your people, it's always about the people, families. As a leader, as anything is always about the people. That was why Thomas Sankara said, don't hurt the people, you have me. See, leaders, you don't need an election to know leaders. They have it in them. Thomas Sankara was like that. Now you are seeing it in Ibrahim Traore. Assimi Goita has it. So, number one, you wanted to sell the capabilities to Ivory Coast. Let's call it spade a spade. These are the people that are going to be buying that capabilities for their bosses. It's not like they are even going to use it in Ivory Coast, because even the Ivorians, the French, still sees them as a threat. So because you are in bed with the imperialists, it has not changed the psychological frame of mind You know, it has not changed that concept of the imperialists that you are still capable of carrying out an enormous level of danger because they don't see their puppet. They've selected their puppets to handle the majority that is not in bed with them. Do you get it? It doesn't mean all Ivorians love those people like that. Majority of the Ivorians don't love those people like that. But that was why they had to select some individual to suppress that majority, bastardize that majority, emasculate them, and their institutions that might stand up against them. So if the plan of this individual, number one, to sell the capabilities, number two, to destroy some capabilities, number three, to give territories to these people, number four, to have people come in and neutralize the civilians. As a military man, you served in the military of that country. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not thinking far. Do you know that in the intelligence community, the dark world, do you know that there are people that are born and by the age of 2 or 3, they start training them on the culture of another state? Thank you so much for joining the community. Thank you so much. There are people that from the age of 2, 3, 4, the food of the country they are about to be sent to, the culture, the language, the way they speak, their accent. If they have tribal marks, they're going to give them the tribal mark. They are called assets. They are called sleeping assets. And they send them into those countries. They might be there for years. And when it's time, they activate the assets. So when you look at the way, when you look at everything that Damiba has done, you might think Damiba is a Burkinabe. But if you have any type of experience, either by listening to some of the CIA operatives that are retired or something, you will know that the behavior of Damiba in this moment is typical of a sleeper agent of another state that has been activated. Okay, why does Benin want to attack Niger? Now, let me tell you something. Benin Republic does not have the capability to attack Niger. Personnel capability or whatever type of, they don't have it. It's France that wants to attack Niger through Benin. Do you get the conversation? I repeat, if you multiply the human capability in Benin, you multiply it again, right? So you have 2. They don't still have what it takes to stand half an hour against the pressure they will face from Niger alone. Like I said, and I will tell you again, the Nigerians, right? They have the blood and the ancestries of those guys from northern Nigeria. And let me tell you something. Oh man, a lot of people don't understand this geopolitics. And it's because of the experience I've had with all, like, I've been everywhere all over Nigeria. Right? I've not been in Niger, but I've been everywhere. The most violent set of Nigerians are the northern Nigerians. Like the blood, like it's there. To eliminate is like a natural composition. They don't look for it, it's there. So if you think, and if you look at the Beninese, they are refined people, they are educated. If you look at the environment, so beautiful and all of that. It's like you are going into a dogfight with somebody that has not really, doesn't really have much to lose. They will make sure that you regret every second of that. The day you took that decision, you will look back and be like, I wish I never did this. You think the Nigerians have anything to lose? You think it's that uranium? I'm talking about in the position of high intensity warfare. In fact, maybe half of the territory. Have you heard the story of the Nigerian forces? That when the JNIM are coming, they run 30 kilometers into their territory. Those ones are going to stand against the Nigerians. Do you know how long it took them, right, to confront Pascatigri? Do you know how long that coup took? Do you know that the Beninese were not the one that stopped Pascatigri? Do you know that it was a coalition of both French, Nigerian, and all of that stopped Pascatigri? One man. See, I think a lot of people don't know what's up. Benin could not even defend herself. It took other states, and after that, they still had to send in, you know, a reservoir force that they had to bring together suddenly. It was not that ECOWAS had a reservoir force on ground. They had to call soldiers from Ghana, they called soldiers from Nigeria, they brought soldiers from Ivory Coast, around that neighboring West African bloc. They now mobilized them into Niger, into Benin. It means one thing: the Beninese don't have the capabilities ready. So it begs the question: what have the French soldiers been doing there? The same thing. They've been carrying out the same mission they've been doing even in the Sahel. Kabuki theater, cutting mahogany and giving it to the troops and telling them, hey, cover fire, boom, 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 boom. I was shocked when I saw that video. That the way the French trained in it. See, let me tell you something. When you see, don't get it twisted, right? It was the same French troops that was training the troops of the Sahel, right? With mahogany. Like they were training them with something like this, right? It's like they were training them with wood, right? So now, again, when they want to buy weapons, right? They tell them, oh, this is too little. This weapon is too dangerous, right? There's a reason why they do those things. Oh, you cannot use this weapon. Let's use this weapon. There is a reason why they use such weapons, right? They give them the weapons with the least capability. They allow the terrorists to come in and suppress them. They even select neighboring countries to be the rapid response neighbors, that if those people ever try to make any attempt, you will be the first to attend to them. Then we will send a backup team to come and assist you. Right? They do these things because these are the places where they have the biggest interests. I don't know if you understand. Right? Benin could not defend herself because France already emasculated the military. I don't know if you understand. The military have already been incapacitated so that they can be reliant on the French, so that France will have a reason to continuously stay in that country. I know that the French agents that are watching, they are not happy. I've exposed too much, right? Don't worry. I think at this point, I will let them catch a breath. So families, at this point, I will have to say farewell. Why? Because I have to go and look at what is going on in Niger and communicate with some of our independent intelligence community, and ask them what is going on the ground, what they think. It's high time we start looking at our calculus and looking at our time and everything, looking at the response. I want to monitor everything that is going on so that by tomorrow, I will be able to give you a detailed information about everything that happened in Niger. Families, they can try to change the story, twist the story, hide the story, but Android is here for you. I will bring you the detailed information on whatever is going on. The response, everything, it will not go past you. We have channels where we get direct information from the front line from. So we're going to give you this information tomorrow. Stay tuned and expect it. You will get it. So thank you, families. And Luta continua Victoria Santa. This revolution has come too far. It has come too far and it is here to stay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate everybody for being around. I want to thank you for playing your part in this moment in history. You all are heroes, because when it's all said and done, you will be able to stand tall. You will be able to stand with honor. You will be among the men, the few ones, and history will never forget you, that you played your part for your people, regardless of what has happened in the past. So thank you, and God bless you.